Salik's IPO was oversubscribed 49 times, drawing $50 billion in orders. And the BOE raises interest rates as England enters a recession. You're watching The Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramya Faraj. Salik's IPO has been oversubscribed 49 times, drawing $50 billion in orders. The government sold 1.87 billion shares in Salik at 54 cents each, raising $1 billion. The offer price implies a market cap of $4.1 billion for the firm, which starts trading on September 29th. The government increased its size from 20% to almost 25% on this investor demand. Other recent Dubai IPOs were heavily oversubscribed as well, with T-Com's IPO 21 times and DIWA's IPO 37 times oversubscribed. Dubai Investments has confirmed it plans to exit one company each year over the next 3 years. The company is considering merging some of its subsidiaries or offering them to the public through IPOs. Officials say potential exit methods are being weighed by a consulting firm. Dubai Investments is a diversified investment company listed on the Dubai financial market. It has investments in sectors and markets across the globe in real estate, industrial, financial, healthcare, and education, among others. S&P expects GCC banks to return to near pre-pandemic profitability by end year, boosted by high oil prices, interest rate hikes, and new public sector-backed projects. S&P says in H1 this year, Kuwaiti and Saudi banks showed the strongest performance, while Qatari and UAE banks are taking a bit longer to recover. But it warns that lower oil prices next year, a potential U.S. recession, geopolitical risks in Europe, and high inflation could mean weaker economic growth and a negative knock-on effect for these banks. EU foreign ministers have agreed to push ahead with more sanctions against Russia and to increase deliveries of weapons to Kiev. It comes after President Putin ordered a partial military mobilization to hold on to Kremlin-controlled areas in Ukraine. Ministers decided to bring forward as soon as possible additional restrictive measures against Russia in coordination with partners. An EU statement said Putin's references to nuclear weapons do not shake their determination, resolve, and unity to stand by Ukraine. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has caused almost $1 trillion of damage as the war batters its economy. Kiev officials say the country has suffered $1 trillion in both direct and indirect costs. The figure is equivalent to 5 times Ukraine's annual GDP before the invasion. Officials previously estimated the damage caused by invading Russian forces in the first 2 weeks of the war at around $100 billion. The Ukrainian government expects the economy to shrink by 35 to 40% this year. The Bank of England has raised its key interest rate to 2.25% from 1.75%, saying it will continue to respond forcefully as necessary to fight inflation, despite the economy entering recession. The BOE estimates Britain's economy entered a recession and shrank 0.1% in the third quarter. The pound slid by more than half a cent against the U.S. dollar after the decision and dipped below $1.13 after hitting a new 37-year low, close to $1.12 earlier today. The UK government today lifted England's ban on fracking, a controversial way of digging for fossil fuels that harms the environment. It's in a bid to boost energy output. Prime Minister Truss flagged the move 2 weeks ago as part of a vast energy package tackling the fallout from the war in Ukraine. The UK will also hold a new oil and gas licensing round next month for 100 new licenses. Truss says the UK will be a net energy exporter by 2040. And in the face of the energy crisis in Europe, President Macron has inaugurated the very first of a series of offshore wind farms off Saint-Nazaire, with installation of all 80 offshore wind turbines off the west coast of France now complete. France's first offshore wind farm is scheduled to be up and running by the end of the year. The Saint-Nazaire site will produce enough power to cover 20% of total electricity consumption of the Loire-Atlantique for around 700,000 people. I'm Ramya Faraj. This is The Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.